so everybody can hear me.
Okay.
Can you enlarge the document?
Zoom.
Can you see it clearly? Is it okay?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So now I'm going to introduce a corpus activity. And the background is I found that many students usually have some problems in
Can you
using.
speak closer to the microphone?
Oh, okay. So I found that many students have some problems when using words. For example, some adjectives or adverbs. And they tend to use the same word to express a certain thing in writing tasks, such as writing compositions or something else. And actually, it will make the compositions boring. So it's necessary for students to learn some synonyms and the collocations so that they can use various words to describe the things, okay? And the words we teach today is important and very. Okay. So for the first activity, I would like to raise the awareness of the word use. So I use a very implicit way to let the students find out the words themselves, to discover it by themselves, so they can raise the awareness of the word use. The step one is an individual work to read the following composition written by a secondary student and focus on the use of adjectives and adverbs. And I will ask them, do you have similar problems when you write compositions? Okay, so let's take a look at the composition called My Lifestyle. And when you are reading, you can find out the problems on your own. What kinds of problems have you discovered in using adjectives and adverbs?
Okay, maybe you can just explain that.
Okay. All right. So the thing is that this student has used too many the same adjectives or adverbs like important and very. Okay. So and step two is a group work to discuss in the group. And step three is I will let the students to look at the Chinese word below. There are two sets. One is about important, and the second one is about very. Okay? So I will have them discover the problem by themselves if they failed to discover the problem in step one. Okay? For example, if they are smart enough to discover the problem in step one, then this one is just a demonstration. Okay, so I will tell them explicitly that the problem lies in the diversity of word use. The composition has used too many important and very. Okay, so we can replace them. So how to solve this problem? We need to find some synonyms, right? Like here, we've got 重要、主要、关键、核心 and 非常、很、极度、十分. These are all synonyms. Okay? These are all synonyms. But in English, many students just use important and very. That's boring. Okay? So how to find some synonyms? We can use a tool called COCA. Okay? COCA is a corpus, and it's actually a database. So how can we find synonyms in COCA? We can use equal sign. And for example, if you want to find synonym of important, just pick find matching strings. Wait a sec. Oh, and we can see a lot of synonyms: significant, key, central, chief, main, critical, and so on. Okay? But there's another option which is called section. So in section, it determines the register you're using. For example, if you choose academic, then the search results will show you the synonyms in academic writing. Okay, you can try. And we can see that there are some differences, maybe some minor differences, but there are some differences. Okay, maybe the sequence or word choose, or the word use. Okay, so I will ask students to search on their own to find out this difference. Okay, and then I will have them report the first 5 results of each word. I will let them take notes. And actually, I think there's not enough time during class, so we will ask them to look up the words in the dictionary after class, for example, at home or something else. Yeah. And step 2 is to find the context of each selected word, each synonym. Okay, so I will ask a question: do you think the synonyms can replace each other in every kind of context? If not, when can they be replaced? Okay, but another thing is we should notice that there might be other meanings of the synonyms. For example, for significant, maybe it has some other meanings like 显著的, which is actually not about 重要的, okay? Yeah. So, because it's highly possible that one word can have different meanings, so we just choose the similar meanings of different words, and then I will give them several sentences. For each synonym, I will give them several sentences like, I think it was significant that he never knew his own father, or critical, central, key, main, and so on. So this step is to raise their awareness that it is okay to use synonyms, but they're not replaceable each other. I mean, they can't replace each other at any context. You should focus on the context. And next one, very. And here, actually, most of the words can replace very, but the meaning may be changed because extremely is, the degree is larger than very. It's like very, very. Okay, extremely is like very, very. Okay, so I will. So here I would explain, make some explanations very explicitly to directly tell them the meanings, the differences. Okay. And next step is to look at the sentences below and ask them, have you noticed the differences among these synonyms, the words underlined? And this is also to let them know that there are differences. Okay, these are some Chinese sentences, but as we can see that we can't replace. You can't use one word to replace others. Okay, it's a little weird. Okay, a little weird. So here, explain the differences between the English synonyms explicitly, because it's a little hard for the students themselves to discover the differences. Okay, so for a teacher, I should do it. Oh, and next one, the teacher should teach the collocates and the collocation. So we can use collocates and compare functions in COCA. Okay, so how do we do it? Collocate, let's see, for example, significant and, because it's an adjective, so we choose this one, and we need to find out the nouns that are modified, so find collocates, let's see. Oh, okay, there are some significant differences, effect, role, relationship, and so on. And I will have the students record several results of each synonym, like significant, critical, central, and so on, to try to find out the patterns. Okay, and we can use another one is called compare. Let's say important and significant collocates noun. Yeah. To see if there are any differences between the words modified by important and significant. Okay, so as we can see, W1 means word one important, and W2 is significant. For example, principle is modified by important 46 times, but 0 times by significant. So if you want to say 重要的 principle, you should use important, okay? And so on. So I will let the students to discover the functions on their own. The next one, to translate the following sentences into English. And I will list the words that can be used. So this is actually an exercise to help them realize that there are many words beyond important and very. For example, 学好英语非常重要. We can say it is very critical to learn English. Okay, instead of using important, and so on. And the next activity is to let them know that different use in different registers. So the first one is to ask them, is it more proper to say the following sentences in spoken language or written language? Or you may choose both. Okay, so these sentences are the same as above, and in this part we're actually trying to tell the students that in different registers we may have different synonyms. Okay, we may have different synonyms. So next one, we still search for the synonyms, but in the spoken register. So for example, important. Section. So here we choose spoken. And we can see some differences. Okay, so the sequence has been changed. But this is not a very significant part, because for these two words, not that many differences. So I will just tell them. And for the final step, final activity exercises, first to replace the words with the synonyms in the composition. Okay, the composition at the beginning, my lifestyle. So you can replace the important or very. Okay, and next I will ask them to write a composition on their own. The topic is just what the students have just learned. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.